Greetings, friends and compatriots! My name is, as always, Pasadena Zorro, and this is my exploration of the Secret World, a new MMO revolving around conspiracies and secret societies, sorcery and shotguns, and bloody Lovecraftian horrors from before the world was young. In this video, I'm going to explore all the essential parts of the game. I'll explain the setting, go through character creation, show you how to advance your character, display the questing system, and so, if you're ready to dive into a cosmic world of elder gods, the walking dead, and a truly disturbing amount of bees, then let's get this train wreck rolling! Alright, here we go. The Secret World takes place in the modern world, and the basic gist is that all the things that go bump in the night, zombies, vampires, Egyptian mummies, and far older, darker things, are starting to go bump in the daytime too. Essentially, all the darkness and weirdness of the world is coming out to play, so much so that the general population is being affected by it. Typically, the three secret societies, the Illuminati, the Templars, and the Dragon, keep these creepy crawlies at bay, but recently they've had to start recruiting from the populace to handle the threat. That's where you come in. Recently, you were a normal person, but now you've been granted powers and an extreme resistance against death by some unknown force, possibly by the life force of planet Earth itself. Detecting this, one of the three secret societies makes a house call to your apartment and gives you the elevator speech, and you decide to play along for a minute and see what they're all about. Creating a character in the Secret World looks a lot like in other MMOs. Most of the customization options revolve around your face and your clothes. You can't, for instance, be a barrel-chested, portly sorcerer. Everyone is similarly muscular and in shape, but while this is disappointing, it's hardly surprising. These sorts of pretty people-only restrictions, and I'm making air quotes with my fingers here, but those sorts of restrictions are old hat for the MMO genre. Regardless, the customization options you are afforded are still certainly better than, say, World of Warcraft. A quick note, there is no visual armor in this game. While your character will get armor, also known as talismans, they don't really show up on your avatar. So whatever you're going to be running around saving the world in is going to be clothes. Whether it's a suit and tie or jeans and a pop collar polo is up to you, but it's all just for looks. Jeans, for example, don't protect you more than shorts. You can change your clothing later by buying clothes either from an in-game vendor or a real currency microtransaction store, though. Like all MMOs, the Secret World has a system of questing. NPCs give you a mission, and completing these tasks earns you a reward of experience, money, and tokens. These tokens, which are differentiated by zone, are used to buy rare quality gear, potions, and crafting materials. You can only ever have 6 quests at a time. Some of these mission slots are reserved. One is for your story mission, another is for any dungeon mission that you might have, and the third is for your main mission. The last 3 are for side missions that you pick up along the way. More on all those in a second. But if your mission log, or your journal, is full, you'll have to drop a mission to pick up a new one. So, like I said, there are multiple kinds of missions. First and foremost is the story mission, which is the overarching plot to the entire zone. These missions are typically very long, usually consisting of over 15 steps, whereas other missions might be between 2 and 6. Further, the story mission ramps up in difficulty as you go, so you're not supposed to complete it all in one sitting. Bang out a few parts of the story, go run some other jobs, run a dungeon, get stronger and come back. That's the way to handle these story missions. Next up are your dungeon missions. These are straightforward. You pick them up beforehand, either from an NPC, or they're given to you automatically upon logging into the dungeon zone, and it tells you to kill some bosses. The dungeons, I should add, are blissfully low on trash. It's more or less a series of straight boss pulls, and I could not be happier about that. Now, that brings us to our main missions, and while you can only have one at a time, they come in a variety of flavors. First are your action missions, your standard kill and fetch quests. Blow up 20 zombies, kill the rampaging werewolf, bring me 1,000 bear asses, that sort of thing. Next are your sabotage missions. These are interesting in that they don't involve much fighting. They ask you to avoid detection, disable traps and security cameras, and generally ninja your way to victory. But these, while awesome, are not the coolest thing. Investigation missions are the creme de la creme of the Secret World's questing family. These will start you off with a clue of some kind. For instance, a pair of archaeologists ask you to go digging in the Egyptian desert for information, and upon exploring a little bit, you find a note, written in code, and a set of hieroglyphs on a forgotten tomb's wall. And that's as much information as they give you. If you want to complete the quest, they expect you to go and decode the hieroglyphs. No help in-game, no hieroglyph decoder item, there are my finger quotes again. No, nothing like that. You're expected to break out your pen and paper, jot down the symbols, and look them up. And personally, I think those kinds of missions are the best you get. They're challenging, rewarding, and they're totally unlike the investigation missions of other MMOs that give you a clear beacon of, hey, go over here, click on this, as their version of detective work. Weak sauce. The Secret World nails these quests on the head, and I look forward to finding them every time I go exploring in a new zone. And that feeling of anticipation, is a feeling that a lot of MMOs try to recreate and just fail at. And last but not least are your side missions. These are quick, one-off, repeatable quests along the lines of, hey, you found a package, deliver it. They're straightforward and easy, and just a handy way to build excess experience points. Lastly, I'd like to talk about character progression. As I said, you gain experience through killing monsters and completing quests, but this is where the game takes a turn. There are no levels. You gain experience points, and these points go towards getting you another ability point or skill point. But you're never going to see a level number next to your name. You'll just keep gaining experience until you've purchased every ability and every skill there is to purchase. Which brings me to my next point. You can purchase every ability and every skill there is to purchase. By this, I mean there are no classes. If you want to be a sword-wielding firebug, you can do that. If you'd rather play an assault rifle-toting, claw-weapon-based healer, you can do that too. Shotgun and giant goddamn hammers, go for it. Because you can buy all the abilities in the game. You can custom create a class that best works for you. And the fun part is, because the game is still pretty relatively new, there isn't an agreed upon best practices build yet. Some things are obviously advantageous to a role, but you're still given a lot of leeway in what you build to give yourself. As far as what abilities and skills actually are, think of abilities as spells and spell-related passives, whereas skills, meanwhile, deal with the capacity to wield various weapons and armor, and the passives that come along with that equipment. There are a whole host of abilities, but the trade-off for having access to all of them is that you can only ever have 14 active at one time, 7 active abilities and 7 passives. Thus, you have to choose what you're putting on your hotbars wisely. Meanwhile, your skills dictate how high quality of a weapon or armor you can wear. These levels of skill, of which there are currently 10, come with various minor passive bonuses. Weapons come with 2 rolls each. Swords, for example, are either damage or a tanky weapon. You can level up both skill passives, and you'll get both as long as a sword's in your hands. The armor skills don't have 2 rolls, but they still come with a single passive bonus, like physical damage. And that's about it. I could go on, but let's be honest, I don't want to spoil it too much for you, and my frame rate is admittedly garbage anyhow. Check it out if you think it'd be interesting. I certainly did, and I haven't regretted it yet. Anyhow, my name is, as always, Pasadena Zorro. You have been amazing for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you really liked what I did today. I am out like trash on a Thursday, and I will see you later.